Honey, I'm tired. Bro quit Macedo for this, by the way. Bro quit Macedo for this. All right, the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG has problems. So I watched the TCG stream for about 90 seconds over the course of this weekend. And from what I gathered, top 8 was Ouroboros Hand Loop, Triff like 60 card full combo 8-9 disruption go first combo deck, and there was also a Mjolnir FTK. So this is what I'm telling you. Yu-Gi-Oh is inherently like modern is like not a good game. It's like a bad game that sometimes is tolerable rather than a good game that sometimes has bad formats. Because for the last 10 years, mostly since like Link Summoning was introduced, it's just every format's like, bro, dude, if you trust me, Yu-Gi-Oh is so sick right now. They just have to ban X, Y, and Z. Bro, look, you need to play TCG right now. It's so good. All they need to do is get rid of D-Barrier and Shifter, and it's going to be such a good format. Bro, this format is so good, they just have to get etc, 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 etc. And then you've been doing that for so many years now, it's like, this game sucks. I'm tuned out. I'm going to play Genesis forever.
Duelists, I'm tired. I hate that I have to make this.
I'm tired. I'm tired, dude.
Video right now, but I need to vent. And
I'm
not
tired,
because
boss.
I've been streaming for 20 hours this weekend, watching watch partying YCS Anaheim with you guys together. When it went until like 4 a.m. in the morning for me both days. I'm tired of non-games in Yu-Gi-Oh, and I want to talk about that. And the reason why I want to.
Oh my god, I think he's recognizing it. Josh, did you get yourself a what is it called? Riftbound creator pack or something? You should get yourself hooked up with that. Trust me. That's the next step. Play League of Legends. You know, this game's dead. Like that's it. I can't deal with this game anymore.
Talk about that right now is because I felt like YCS Anaheim was one of the worst viewing experiences I've had in a long time when it comes to a Yu-Gi-Oh event, maybe ever.
It can't be that bad for watching, right? I mean, he's probably watched an MBT stream.
I'm not talking production quality, because that was pretty good, but I'm talking the actual gameplay, and I want to discuss that. I need to vent a little bit about the TCG. Of course, I've recently voiced some concerns with Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel and why I'm taking a break from that at the moment.
No, I haven't.
I was pretty hyped to get into more TCG content and play more TCG myself. But I'm not going to pretend like the TCG is some magical wonderland without any problems or any issues. So,
dude, what was the rhetoric like literally like a month ago? Master Duel sucks, Malice tier 0, DC cut bullshit. Come to TCG. TCG is so good. There's Draco Tail Mirrors. There's back and forth 30-minute grind games. And then, like, people begin to cook. And this is the problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. They optimize the fun out of everything. They come up with wacky combos that play through multiple disruption that sets up a card that says your opponent cannot summon. You understand? That's the problem with this game. You guys are the problem. It's you people. You keep optimizing the fun out of everything.
I'm here today to talk about that. And maybe that's also why I was very disappointed, especially this weekend from YCS Anaheim, because I was looking forward to the TCG so much, because it was going to be my escape from Master Duel, and because I was actually a big fan of this format.
Guys, how's Duel Links? What's going on? Are they doing? Is Mjolnir in Duel Links?
Going into it, you know, like the pure Draco Tail, pure Yami, pure Mitsurugi 3-way format, like was actually looking pretty nice for me, and I had a great time at YCS Lil last week. But it feels like I was watching an entirely different format at YCS Anaheim, because all those quote-unquote fair decks, it felt like they didn't exist, or even worse, they existed, but they got completely clapped up by broken floodgates and broken combo decks, and it's a problem, and I want to talk about a little bit why I think that is. So we're going to start, chronologically, we're going to start in the...
Oh my god, dude, DK-ass, like, reviews now? Are we going to bring up a legal act? And we're not going to do that.
The finals, because that is the match that has the most eyes on it in a tournament. And we're going to get into some other examples too. But for YCS Anaheim, let me set the stage for you here, okay? YCS Anaheim finals is between Kamal Crooks and Cameron Neal, two of the most accomplished Yu-Gi-Oh! Players of all time.
Which should be an incredibly entertaining match, right? Clueless?
The best Yu-Gi-Oh! You will probably ever witness. Instead, what we get in the finals is the following thing. Kamal wins the dice roll, makes this board through two
hand traps.
Because he self-rolls away the Fuva and then is still able to make this board under.
Oh my god, self-rolling
through the opponent's
chef's kiss.
On top of that, locking Cameron Neal completely out of playing the game in game 1, which results in Cameron Neal, even though the finals is untimed, so they have no incentive to scoop early, to just pack up his cards immediately once he draws for turn. So not a single card was played on Cameron's turn. in this game. It's an Omni Negate through Cyber Dragon Infinity. It's a Ripper Hand Trap Negate. It's Tristaros. And there's an artifact Mjolnir, which for those of you that don't know what this card does, you summon it to your opponent's side of the field during your turn using Imperial Princess Kunkri, and it locks the opponent out from special summoning anything but artifacts for 2 turns. So
okay, but Cameron could have sided into a small artifact package. All right, I feel like there's some deck building problems here that could have been solved with some foresight. Okay.
Cam unable to play the game in game 1. Sure, we go to game 2. Game 2, Cam makes this board, which is basically
what do we have here? Banish, Omni, Board Wipe, Omni, and Bounce Pop?
The full Mitsurugi board and the full Yami board in one deck through an Izuna.
Through
causes Kamal to draw his card for turn and pack up his cards and scoop.
Ooh.
0 cards played on turn 2 once again.
Imagine staying up till 4 a.m.
goes first. Same thing. Starts comboing. At this point, Cam doesn't even get it.
Is that a Clockwork Knight?
The turn in this match because Cam uses a hand trap, gets called by the grave, knows what's coming, packs up his cards and leaves. The finals of this YCS was 3 turns.
Wait, did he pack up his cards like in game 3? Like he scooped game 3? Like he didn't even like play it out?
0 cards were played on turn 2, and 2 of the best players in the game.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Didn't play any Yu-Gi-Oh with each other, which was pretty frustrating. I was pretty disappointed at this point. Of course, I was watching this live. It was also 4 a.m. in the morning for me, so I decided to just go to bed, wake up, and see how I feel about it. But I still feel pretty bad about it. And I think we're gonna start a discussion here on floodgates, broken combos, and I think it all falls under one category, which is non-games in Yu-Gi-Oh. And when I say non-games, this is what I mean. I mean a game basically not happening because one of the players does not have a chance from the beginning. Like, it is not worth.
I mean, again, like, I've been saying it for years. Yu-Gi-Oh duels don't. Yu-Gi-Oh formats generally are bad, generally are not good, and then occasionally they'll be tolerable, and then someone optimizes and fully comes up with some crazy wacky combo that ends up making it not fair. Almost every single Yu-Gi-Oh combo since like Link summoning has basically boiled down to who can be the most creative deck builder to make their opponent not play. It's just format after format, this keeps happening, and they keep printing cards that facilitate this.
Playing this game for Cameron Neal, he does not need to be there. He does not need to be part of game 1 and game 3 here. This might as well be a combo tutorial on YouTube by Kamal, where he just shows the cool combo he's found.
Yo,
with K9. Or,
I don't know, man. You guys don't like watching Exordio? They could have just played that instead.
And I don't know. Of course, this is subjective. But I don't think I'm in the minority here when I say I don't think this is good Yu-Gi-Oh! I do not feel like this is enjoyable to watch. I also don't think it's enjoyable to play this type of Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially if you're on the losing side. But even on the winning side, I feel like it feels kind of dull to do this. It feels like playing solitaire.
That's true. Kamal is like holding up his trophy, thinking about game balance, and he's just really... He really feels, he's holding up that like, $10,000 prize card, and he's just like, oh, man, this sucks.
And I probably wouldn't be making this video if this was the only instance of.
But if he lost the coin flip, you see,
Kamal got lucky and Cam got unlucky, and that's just like non-games happen in card games sometimes. Sometimes you just draw a very good hand or a very bad hand, or you just happen to have all the answers or whatever. A Yu-Gi-Oh game being a non-game occasionally is fine, but this weekend, the coverage was full of it. Like, and it's not just broken combos and locks. It was everything. It was floodgates in every shape and form. Like we see. I just want to go through some examples. I brought up some examples from the YCS coverage. Once again, we see the Yami Mitsurugi deck, which is another topic I wanted to get into, is how Yami and Mitsurugi individually, I think, are pretty fine archetypes. But when for some reason they work together and make both boards at the same time, which is ludicrous in my opinion, which just teaches us a lesson about archetype design and archetypes needing proper locks. And I want to reiterate something, because a lot of people, we've seen a lot of Mitsurugi hybrids pop.
I think they designed Habakiri with the idea that once per duel is going to keep this in check. Unfortunately, the problem is once per duel is all you need. So,
up, especially in recent weeks. And I want to say that I think both things can be true. On the one hand, these inventions, these deck lists, like the Triff list that he won the YCS with, or the Jeff Jones list that he played at this YCS, where he combined K9 with Mitsurugi because he found a bridge how K9 Noroi can be a starter for Mitsurugi, and basically you do the full K9 combo, including Ripper, and then you get the Mitsurugi combo on top of that. These innovations, these deck building, this is crazy impressive. These are impressive creations. The Triff deck is also very impressive. Finding those synergies between the Nouvelle cards and the Mitsurugi cards and the Yami cards is nice. That is cool. That is an interesting part of Yu-Gi-Oh deck building for sure. But the gameplay it provides is not interesting because you make these boards and you won the game. Congratulations. And it's not just these combo decks.
You know when like little engines like work together and they do like cute things with one another for like an extra layer of interruption or something? That's like cool, right? I think doing your deck's full combo, which usually is like a 1-card combo, to then bridge into another combo via, what was it, like something ridiculous and silly like River Stormer into like a machine that then gets you like a way to like make a reptile search off of like the Link 2, like what was it, Asalan or something? And then that 1-card combo then provides you like 3 more interruptions on top of what you just made that was already like 2 or 3 interruptions. That's a problem. That no longer is like interesting or cool, right? Bridging stuff together has always been one of the neatest things and fun things in Yu-Gi-Oh, I will admit. But, I mean, you only have so many cards in your hand going second these days. You only have so many ways to interact and beat a board. And you just put so many layers to your combo that it just becomes insurmountable and you can't win.
It's also, I mean, this exact match, literally fast forward a couple minutes, this is the board that Mitsurugi made, going first.
We've thrown a little cheeky Di-Fi.
Activate Dimensional Fissure, we search Fossil Dyna Pachycephalo with Gallant Granite.
Weren't they doing this Dyna combo pre-ban list, by the way? Did they just, like, forget him? Because this was consistently being done before the ban list, I'm pretty sure.
We normal summon it, and we have an Omni Negate trap.
Oh, they just didn't address that. Nice.
I think this is a problem, and I think it's been a problem for a long time, and I'm honestly getting frustrated with the like, what's it called? Just their unwillingness to do anything about this. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been pretty vocal about my my dislike of some recent archetype designs, especially in 2024. But a badly designed archetype does not typically discourage me from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Because archetypes come and go. You know, like, sure, they made Snake Eyes. I didn't like the format, but Snake Eyes is gone now. And that's always what happens, of course, because new archetypes get printed. They want us to play the new archetypes. So eventually the old archetypes get hit. That is natural in Yu-Gi-Oh! So a couple bad archetypes don't get me personally discouraged, because I know.
But what if they keep making bad archetypes? But what if every archetype is just a pile of garbage, like Malice, etc., etc.? Like, what if they just keep doing it?
Oh, or at least I usually believe in the fact that better times will come. You know, you don't like a certain archetype right now, there's going to be better archetypes in the future, which is true at the moment. I think 2025 archetype design, for the most part, is pretty nice. You know, I like the Justice Hunters archetypes, except for the fact that Ripper is just promoting hand trap negates in combos. But, like, you know, I'm a fan of Pure Mitsurugi, I like Pure Yami, I love Draco Tail. Like, the archetypes in 2025 are cool. But what's the point of having
Is Draco Tail doing anything unreasonable?
When the decks that are winning are the decks that are doing this. And even the fair archetypes, quote unquote, are not designed carefully enough. So they have synergies with, like, you know, searchable Fossil Dyna, and they can slap Dimensional Fissure and everything.
Caliga lock you.
And I don't know, man. And it's not even just the top meta decks. And it's not just a few examples. I have a couple prepared.
Why did they bring this back, by the way? They banned this after... Was it like Sword Soul format? And then they brought it back, and then like the Ritual Beast end board, which made top 8 of like Euros or something like the year before or something. The best Ritual Beast end board was like Baguska Protoss. Okay. And Steeds, you know, there was a Ritual Beast card there, to be fair. Okay. To be fair, there was a Ritual Beast card.
You strap in. Top 8 of this YCS.
It just keeps happening. The point I bring this up, like, it's almost like a Gramps, like, old man example at this point. Like, it keeps happening. It keeps happening. Every couple of formats, they'll make, like, interesting, cool decks that do, like, unique, interesting, cool things, but then someone will find a way to, like, abuse a certain thing, and then it's a problem card, usually, that has been talked about, that has been abused before, historically, and it just isn't fixed. Herald of the Arclight, really kind of degenerate card. Don't like that. The most obvious one that he brought up, Artifact Mjolnir. My god, didn't we have Artifact discourse for years already? Scythe isn't relevant. It's just the same card. It's literally the same card. You could have seen this coming a mile away.
Noski. Once again,
which, by the way, Scythe they banned like years after, maybe not years, but months after it was problematic.
The dice roll goes first with Onomat Ryzeal, a rogue deck, mind you, pretty much tier 2, basically. Goes first, uninterrupted. 4 material detonator Eclipse Twins attached. Ryzeal trap face down.
Ooh, format.
Ryzeal cross up on the board, which is already a respectable pure Ryzeal board. You might think that's really strong. But that's not it. We've also hand looped 2 cards with Evil Swarm Ouroboros. That's why 2 cards are in Triff's graveyard here. And we've also searched Arch Nemesis Protoss.
What are you supposed to Protoss against Triff's deck? Is it light?
A card that lets you declare any attribute, basically, and your opponent is unable to use that attribute. So
I don't think you can call light, though, because
also have hand trip for
isn't Detonator light?
a Floodgate, and a full Ryzeal board.
Light or dark win anyway.
Nice. Game 2, Triff goes first and wins the game off of the back of 2 dimensional barriers over the course of multiple turns. It's hard to convey this in one screenshot, and I didn't want to watch through the entire thing, but double dimensional barrier.
Okay, to be fair, this game looked like there was back and forth, all right? Because there was 2 D-barriers resolving, not just 1. So that wasn't just flip D-barrier win, all right? This was flip 2 D-barriers and win.
Essentially, let's Triff beat cards like Droll and Lockbird in this.
He got Droll, to be fair. True, see,
but
fair.
we saw very little action.
So the unfair card interaction prevented him from popping off 2 hard, which he then countered with an unfair interaction to prevent his opponent from doing an unfair interaction. So, you know, there was some gameplay here.
Gameplay from this. We saw a Yummy combo on turn 1 under Droll. That got met with an evenly matched, and what could have been an interesting game maybe after was met with double D barrier into top deck Habakiri, and then the Mitsurugi combo finished the game. And then game 3, same story. Goes first, double hand rip with Ouroboros, puts up Protoss.
Yeah, I was waiting before Josh was going to bring up like some examples of like, you know, the more generous hand traps, floodgates, like Shifter, etc. I say generous in the sense that you don't like consistently access them in the same way that you access all of this crap. Like your main combo just does this, right? But it's coming. Okay, cool. Because I did actually have something meaningful to put here. Because there's nothing really to say about this, right? Coming up with cool, interesting combos that give you extra layers of disruption versus your opponent board can be fine as long as it isn't too much and too egregious. It's when it gets like Protoss. It's when you find a bridge to make Baguska untargetable. When you find a bridge to do an entire archetype's other 1-card combo that doesn't need a normal, etc. That's when shit gets like wacky.
Cross puts up an Omni Negate counter trap for Onomat that we also searched for going first. And Triff tries to play into it because there's no timer, and it might as well try because it's the last match or the last game of your tournament if you lose. But there was no.
I will attempt to play through this board without dark monsters,
or they didn't matter because he was under Protoss and then lost. And it's pretty disheartening, honestly. And we also saw, for example, reigning...
Whoa. Hold on. What are you going to say about this?
World champion Julian Kejon, round 3 feature match, plays against pure Mitsurugi. So I'm like, okay, Mitsurugi against Draco Tail, that's a pretty hype matchup. We got a pretty good game 1 here, admittedly. And that's another topic because of most of these things, not all of them, but a lot of these things are happening post-side, which is why I feel like the side deck
Shifter's at 1 in TCG, right?
Will probably be reevaluated as well, because let's be real
Am I making that up?
Side deck is a cool concept.
1 in Master.
People are just using it to side deck the most crazy auto wins in the game, because why wouldn't they? Let's be real. Let's not hate the players for playing these cards, okay? Like, if I can activate Dimensional Barrier to just completely win a game, why wouldn't I? So we see Julian going first in game 2, gets hit with a Dimension Shifter.
It's 10
can't
points.
Play the game. So what do you do if you can't play the game? Yeah, right. You set a Dimensional Barrier and make it so that your opponent can't play the game. And
wait, is this turn 1 with the D barrier? Sorry, game 1. I can't see the things covered here. Was this game 1 barrier? Turn 2? Game 2. Game 2. Okay. Game 2, we bring in Shifter, we bring in D-Barrier. Womp, womp, womp.
And win the turn after, because now you're basically going first with the battle phase. And then game 3, Hanzi here on Mitsurugi activates Dimensional Fissure. Doesn't have a play next to it even, but the Dimensional Fissure eventually is enough to win him the game. And Julian does...
Why Fusion Materials? So, listen, Julian was forced to play a 2004 Fusion deck, which is when the materials are used for the Fusion summon, they don't do anything. Okay? So this was a nice little flash from the past, you know?
To Dimensional Fissure pass, because it doesn't
like just making Black Meteor Dragon pass, you know?
When your deck loses to Dimensional Fissure, you are not able to play the game. You can't show us how good you are
just
playing
play
the game because you are not allowed.
Why are people complaining about Di-Fi, by the way? There's an entire archetype based around MST, my brother in Christ.
The game. And the funniest in quotation marks.
Okay, oh, by the way, yeah, so this is the point that I wanted to bring out here. So there's like logic as to why I think this stuff exists, right? I don't know what the theoretical understanding that Konami has for why Fossil Dyna being searched off of Granite should exist. I don't know what their logic and understanding for why Mjolnir should be a card. But this is the way I look at it for things like random things like Di-Fi and Shifter, etc., right? So what you have is you have 2 gamers here, okay? And then you've got like final boss stage man Joshua Schmidt, right? Who's invested like, you know, boss battle 100 hours into the format, right? And then you've got you know, little Timmy, the casual, you know, Exo-Sister player who's just trying to have a little bit of fun at the locals once a week, right? So he shows up, and he's got, like, his little dimensional shifter in his deck, and she's, like, popping off and winning games for him because he's just really good at drawing it sometimes. And unfortunately, little Timmy, he's only got, like, 3 hours a week or something to play the game. So Big Boss Man over here, who's at his locals every single week, is just going to dumpster turbo cockfuck his deck every single time they play against each other. So what chance does little Timmy have playing the game? So what happens is that little Timmy ends up, you know, getting so disheartened with losing to the 100-hour turbo duelist every single week that he ends up just quitting the game. And what happens when a person quits the game? Konami stonks go down. And so you can't retain people in your you know, flagship money making, generating, profiteering, fantastic product. So what you have to do is give little Timmy away to have a chance against the local sweat lords. And so the best way to do that is to give them easy, fun, cool cards like Di-Fi, like Shifter, etc., etc., because that is something that can reduce the power level of Joshua Schmidt's 100-hour sweat lord playtesting into having a good game, good, quote-unquote good game, but having a chance to win a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Little Timmy on stream beat the world champion? Exactly, right? So if you're in an environment with like a region or a local where you just play against like these people every week who just make you go 0-4 constantly, yeah, you could argue get good, but here's the reality for a business and a company. You can't encourage them to get good because they only have a limited amount of time in the day, in the year, in the week, or whatever to invest in getting better at the game. So what you need is you need to have a skill ceiling for a deck that doesn't require, you know, hundreds of hours of playtime to actually get invested in, right? Like, you have, like, the skill ceiling of some of these decks here, like, all the way to the, like, the skill floor of, I don't know, what's, like, a hard deck to play right now? Some sort of, like, ritual pile or something, right? It's, like, kind of hard to get invested in, but once you learn the combos, you can kind of get there. You also need, like, to have other decks in the format that have, like, a low skill floor, right? So you could have, like, all the way down here, you could have, like, Draco Tail, which is, like, a fairly easy deck to get into, but at the highest level is obviously going to be a little bit, you know, more advanced, right? But the problem is, like, how do you bridge the gap between these two different playstyles and two different players? What you need is you just need to have floodgates exist, because the floodgates take the skill ceiling all the way down here, which is where little Timmy lives and plays the game. So now he gets to play the game at this equal level and footing. You see? So from a business perspective, floodgates have to exist to be able to actually let people get invested and have a chance at playing. Now, I'm not saying I agree with this. I'm not saying there's no value judgment associated with what I'm talking about right now. I'm not saying this is good design. I'm not saying this is bad design. I'm just theorizing why it exists in the first place. I think this exists because it's a good way to retain customers, right? I don't think it's like fun and interactive. I don't think it's, you know, enjoyable, but I think it's a way for people to play their for fun casual decks to have a chance like once in a while. You just go first with your happy little enjoyable Blue Eyes deck. You flip a D barrier. You can win games against the world champion, right? That's good for business because what you need for a consumer is the consumer needs a little carrot on a stick. And this dangly little carrot is the victory that they get every so often against better players that keeps them invested and buying more and more product and staying in the game. Because that way, they at least have some semblance of a chance to actually compete. If you just go to locals every single week, get dumpster stomped constantly, eventually you will just psychologically tune out and not be interested in play anymore, right? So that's why I think these cards exist. That's why I think Di-Fi is in the game. That's why I think D-Barrier still exists. That's why I think Shifter still exists. Because occasionally you can just steal some games you don't really deserve, but at least it gives you some sort of serotonin, makes you feel good, and it makes you still keep playing the game and stay invested. Because I think there will come a breaking point for an average person to just get beaten so often, so much, that eventually you quit the game and go do something else, right?
Is what happened right after this feature match. I'm gonna show you what happened. So they go back to the casters after the winners interview, and then this happens. There's a backup feature, by the way.
Backup feature?
Bonus feature match going on right now, so we're gonna jump into some more Yu-Gi-Oh action. So let's just jump right into it. It looks like we are in game number 3. We have Tamir taking on Jesse, and Tamir's playing a deck that you're a pretty big fan of.
Spoilers. Tamir won this game. Different dimension ground, another entry into the dimension family. You know, within the span.
Can we get a dimension archetype?
50 minutes. We saw multiple games
I guess it's
decided,
called Malice, maybe?
turns being skipped by the entire array of dimension cards. You know, Dimension Shifter was used to skip Julian's first turn, skip the turn right back with Dimensional Barrier, won game 3 off of the back of Dimensional Fissure, backup feature match, looks like an interesting board state, immediately 2 seconds into the match,
it is literally every dimension
ground
card.
is flipped, the game ends.
DDs exist? Ironically, DD cannot beat like a DDG or a Di-Fi or a Shifter. That's the funny thing. Like, what are you making under D Shifter in DDD? You're making like high Flame King Genghis Pass? I don't know, man.
And this was really, for me, overshadowing all of the good Yu-Gi-Oh! That can be played in this current format.
See, this is what people are going to say to Josh, right? You need to understand, like, this has been the case for years. Years. Oh, sorry, D.D, not D/D. yeah, different deck. This has been happening for years, since the dawn of time. Every, you know, as far as I can remember, as far back as I go, let me think. You go back to 2014, you're going to have non-games because people put in Di-Fi against the hands. You go into late 2014, people are going to have non-games because there's a shadow imprisoning mirror on the field. You go into 2015, people are having Jin in their main deck. And what did people say about that? Exact same thing they did today. Bro, trust me, this deck is so fun. These mirror matches are so good. They just need to ban the Jin. And then in 2016... I don't even know if Floodgates were too bad in 2016. I think D-Barrier was when it was released, was 2016, and then a lot of Zoom mirrors were pretty good and fun and skillful, and then eventually someone would fusion substitute, draw their entire deck, find D-Barrier, and then that would also make, like, Zoom mirrors kind of bad. Anti-spell. Every year, every format has its counters, and for all of the reasons I highlighted in that perfectly amazing paint drawing is why I think they keep existing. So, for me personally, this is why I don't play Modern. I'm just so sick and tired of playing what is, again, like I said, if I was to characterize Modern Yu-Gi-Oh!, it would be that Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a bad game that is sometimes good and fun and enjoyable and tolerable, rather than a fun and tolerable, enjoyable, good game that is sometimes bad. I think, especially since Link Summoning, it has become so prevalent with all of these, like, dumb, crazy combos that aren't even just, like, lots of big, crazy combos that interrupt you. It's like lots of crazy, dumb, big combos that are impossible to interact with, that are impossible to hand trap correctly. Board breakers sometimes don't even work against them. So you're just left with like no other option to interact with them other than just like win dice roll, deck build better, hope they brick, etc., etc. There is a perfect example of this, even just like almost 10 years ago. Where is it? Oh, dude, there was like a video on my channel, and it was like 10 years, and it's like the same thing. It's like the first game with Spyro. Is it this one? It is, yeah, it is with Spyro. I just don't remember, like... It's definitely Spiral. I just don't remember where the clip is. There it is. I found it. Yes. Is that Tuno? Look at that. Nothing's really changed. This was posted 7 years ago. Oh, almost to the day. 2017. Okay. 2017. We're coming up to, like, Almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. What has... Look at this. Play BLS.
Shit.
What the hell just happened?
All your helixes are gone, mate. It's like a cherry's gin.
Why are you banishing your monsters instead of resort?
I have to banish everything except one card.
Hello?
Did you even read it?
I think this is me reading evenly for the first time.
I feel like you haven't read it.
I just couldn't do the math, bro.
Yeah, banishing cards face down from that are spells and traps don't really work. You need to put them to the top of your deck. Oh, no, that doesn't even work.
I'm absolutely heartbroken if you can't do it, mind. It's alright.
Banish face down.
18 viewers, huge.
Like an MSD.
Yeah, that's basically it, right? So it's only good against decks that just vomit out their board. Like,
Yeah, it's only good against the best deck. Yeah.
how are you still equaling it? How are you still +1? How are you still +1?
Why not, bro?
This fucking deck just banished 6 cards and he's +1.
I have a Search
11.
Genie Pro and I have a Super Agent Engraver.
Oh.
Destroy his resort.
Actual fuck this game. Actual fuck this game. I'm quitting. I'm quitting. I'm going right now on Google and searching competitive Mahjong.
Competitive Connect 4.
Oh. Fuck this.
Oh,
Play
competitive
Connect
Jenga
4
would be the
online. Oh shit, we actually got Mahjong here. What's changed, by the way? What's changed? Tell me what's changed. The same thing happens today, except they probably search an Omni Negate, by the way. Oh my god.
And was played at this YCS. There probably was a lot of
You
good
haven't
video being
changed,
played at
yeah.
the YCS, but the majority of the things that we saw were this. And I was very disappointed because I had high hopes in this format. I was and still am a big fan of some of the recent ban list decisions that they've made. But the problem is
They don't hit
that
floodgates.
it doesn't matter how good you handle certain archetypes or how well you address certain problems if you leave these problems completely unaddressed. And I don't know how many ban list predictions, how many ban list wish lists in a row now I've mentioned cards like Dimension.
I don't know if I'm seeing like too much like unique stuff here, to be fair, right? I do really feel like this kind of stuff has been occurring like format to format, right? Like archetypes bridging into other cards, doing dumb things, searching floodgates. I feel like this is, I don't know, maybe Josh is just getting tired of Yu-Gi-Oh! Do you think that's possible? I don't really feel like this is too unique of an argument you can bring up from today, from 2022 to 2020, 2018, right? I feel like I kind of think maybe bro's just tired.
Barrier. And it's just not happening. And look, cards like Dimension Shifter,
That's exactly
there
what
can be
he's
only
saying.
one, Rivalry of the Warlords, all of those
Right,
cards limited
I know. So, Riftbound when?
at 1 at the moment are pretty frustrating. And I still don't understand why they're at 1. But them being at 1 at least means we don't see them very often. You know, every once in a while, a Dimension Shifter pops up on stream. And I'm like, why is this legal? But I guess a Rivalry pops up, same thing or whatever. But at the moment, we're in a format where Dimensional Barrier basically hits every single deck that's playable. And so everybody feels like everyone is playing 3 Barrier and 3 Thrust. So it feels almost like there's more games being played under Floodgates post side right now than without Floodgates, I'm pretty sure. Like it's actually insane. And the thing that makes it so weird to
Say
me,
that again? I don't know if that's unique.
Floodgates, I'm pretty sure. Like it's actually there's more games being played under Floodgates post side right now than without Floodgates, I'm pretty sure. Like it's actually
Yeah, but like, haven't we always done this? Hasn't that almost always been like how you side deck for the most part, right? You go first, you can bring in like skill drain, you can bring in summon limit, you can bring in etc, right? Like I feel like that's pretty much always been it. It needs to be fixed. I think the problem is that after so many years of begging and asking for these fixes, at what point do you turn around and be like, okay, you're not listening, I'm gonna go do something else? Because there's probably thousands of people who've done that. We just don't know about it or hear about them because they've gone now, right? But it feels like, yeah, maybe his argument is that this is happening way more often now. I think it's been happening often enough for like 10 years.
actually insane. And the thing that makes it so
They
weird
have been
to me is
banning
because
shit,
I
though.
cannot.
Dude, Konami's like ban list with regards to problems like this are so slow. I'm like, how often do we see like a problem card on the ban list and it took like months? It took multiple formats to deal with. The best example that like is just sticking out in my mind right now is Stormwind. The searchable floodgate normal summon trap barrier statue in Flu Under that people complain about for so long And multiple formats it stayed around. I think it was like the 3rd or 4th flu relevant, quote unquote relevant flu format where they eventually hit it. I'm pretty sure actually what happened is that Flu Wonder stopped being good and relevant because it just got power crept, because I mean it's just how good can flu be forever. And then that's when they eventually hit it, right? So I don't know. That's kind of how it feels like. Scythe was another great example. I'm pretty sure Scythe specifically, Scythe actually stopped being relevant after they banned, like, what, Halka Fibrax, I think? Like, all of those Hulk Turbo decks in 22 or 23 were doing all of these crazy, dumb, insane combos, Dagda Turbo, etc., getting into Scythe, setting up on the opponent's turn. Quick Effect Hulk, I believe, Special Summon Wonder Magician, pop your Scythe, was, like, one way people were enabling that. They banned Halka Fibrax, left Scythe around, so Scythe stopped being relevant, and then they hit Scythe on the next ban, and it's like, wow, you addressed the problem a year later. So I feel like we keep going through this loop over and over and over and over again, and I'm so sick and tired of it.
Think of a reason. I don't know why. Like, because typically whenever I have discussions
the hit
like
side
this,
after became relevant again.
Oh,
wow. The searchable floodgate became relevant again after someone came up with a new combo. Who could have seen that coming?
This is making the game unattractive to play. People that already play Yu-Gi-Oh! Are frustrated by this. At least, I mean, I don't want to speak for every single person in the community, but I feel like the overwhelming majority would like those cards to be gone because we want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And these cards don't let us play Yu-Gi-Oh!
I don't know, dude. I enjoy my fossils.
But, like, which archetype is selling because Dimensional Barrier is legal? Which archetype is selling because Dimensional Barrier
the Thrust archetype.
Like, it feels like for every archetype, if you can name a synergy with a floodgate, you can name 5 floodgates that kills it. Like, it's just not fun. And then this does not... I personally... Look, I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For 20 years, but I cannot imagine anyone who isn't into Yu-Gi-Oh! At the moment watching this YCS... Game 1 finals, you know, you don't know much about Yu-Gi-Oh! You watch this, you see the player going first doing solitaire for some time, player going second scoops, other way around, Cameron does some solitaire, Kamal scoop.
Like, I'd really love to know the intricacies and the ins and outs at the head office in Tokyo, Japan, as to the people pulling the strings and deciding and confirming and accepting yes or no on the ban list and coming up with, like, the solutions and stuff. And I just want to know, like, what Mr. John Konami himself, like, does when he sees this game, if he even cares to watch it and isn't just looking at stocks and shares on a graph. Like, I'm just really curious, what is it about this that seems like this is a good direction and this is a good way to keep maintaining profit? I don't know. Maybe the game is really profitable right now. That's perhaps the problem. It is the problem, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Keeps growing. Yu-Gi-Oh! Keeps getting better, at least from a financial perspective, right? I believe. One can interpret. We know that's the case. Well, we don't know exactly specifically, but we know that Konami Digital Entertainment profits and revenue has only been increasing exponentially, especially over the last few years. Whether it's due to Yu-Gi-Oh! Or other digital titles like Silent Hill, etc., is not really known. But the point is, clearly they see it in a way where it's like, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, I don't know. Genesis might be their solution to this. But arguably, I think Genesis is going to have the same problem, right? Definitely at a lower ceiling and power level. But I'm pretty sure Genesis is just going to have, like, the same sort of issues where people, like, innovate combos that get to, like, you know, non-games and stuff. But for now, I love Genesis format because I haven't seen too much of this fuckery.
Oops. Kamal does some solitaire and Cameron scoops. Who wants to play Yu-Gi-Oh! After this if you're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh?
Like, Mystic Mind was hit, like, within 48 hours.
I don't know. Maybe a few people, but I feel like it could be so much more if they actually played interesting Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, if you understand what's going on here, you know this is pretty bad.
BFD Generator got told they had Invitational.
I feel like...
Whatever Genesis at Anaheim was Vanquish Soul. I would take 1,000 duels versus Vanquish Soul versus, you know, whatever the hell this Crystron deck is that Kamal's playing. This Clockwork Knight is searched, by the way, isn't it? From the Link 1, isn't it?
The majority of people would also think this is pretty bad. Because it is very clear here that the player going second has no control in this game whatsoever. No say in the outcome of this game.
Clockwork Knight versus Clockwork Knight.
I don't know. I just needed to vent about that. I wanted to put my frustration out there, and I just want you guys to understand that this is coming from a place of love for this game. I feel very passionate about this because I just recently, you know, I'm taking a break from Master Duel right now because I felt like the TCG is so much better, has so much more potential. And I stand by that. The TCG is, at the moment, still a better format than Master Duel.
Okay, but to be fair, the bar is on the floor, so...
This is not the full picture.
Is TCG better than Master Duel? Well, I mean, I guess, like, living on the street homeless is better than living in an active war zone. Right? I technically, it's probably better.
structure, of course. There is a lot of games where people play pure Draco Tail, pure Mitsurugi, pure Yami that are pretty fun when those cards aren't involved. But it could be so much better. Like, why do I have to deal with this being a thing when we could have more good games? You know, why is it only a certain percentage?
Yo, this is crazy feedback.
Why can't we maximize that?
Why can't we have better games?
And it's like, first of all,
oh, dude, this is my favorite wording. Why can't we just make the game better? Konami, it's a good question, genuine. It's a very good question. It's very simple to fix.
I also want to say that I don't want to take away from Kamal's YCS win. 6th YCS win here, by the way, which is crazy.
Wait, is that a record?
Incredible achievement, but I felt pretty bad that after the finals was done, I didn't really feel anything but disappointment in this format. Like, it could have been such a good match of
Who has the most?
But it was this. And I don't know, like, it's not like they don't know these cards aren't the problem. If you look at Genesis format, by the way, which, by the way,
hey,
banger.
Why are we Control F Dimension? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Genesis feature matches over the course of the weekend. Genesis is looking mighty fine, especially in comparison right now.
All 4 of them right together. Wow. 10, 45, 10, 100. Wait, Barry's 100 points? What is Dimension Fusion? Oh, the bad card, right? It's a Ratad. This card sucks, by the way. Why is it 45? It's actually terrible. Like, genuinely, this card's like ass. Shifter only 10 is criminal, by the way.
Dimensional Barrier is 100 points in Genesis format. Weird. Protoss 100 points
Dimension
in Genesis
Fusion
format
isn't
as
a
well.
Ratad?
You name it. A lot of more
Oh, I'm thinking of Future Fusion. Never mind, never mind.
niche floodgates are 100 points in Genesis format. You know, even Eschatos is on here. It's almost like they understand. Someone somewhere knows that these cards don't provide fun gameplay, but somehow they're legal in the TCG.
Ooh, Scythe's 100.
And searchable.
Look, by the way, just like the most like degenerate cards you don't even think about, they addressed in Genesis format. So clearly they understand, they know. My theory is like, you know, someone else who has more power is just letting these cards exist. Because for whatever reason, they've decided to 100 point the world, Christia. When the hell did you last see Christia be relevant? Good hit, by the way. Still actually relevant. Still good, probably. You know, I'm sure there'll be some like dumb like fairy agent pile that combos into Christia. Most likely, right? So they're willing to like put it straight to 100 points because why? Not interesting, not fun, not good interactive Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, for the most part, you know, Protoss super easily accessible. The artifact lock super easily accessible. Dimensional Barrier is at 3, and you have 3 copies of Thrust to punish people for hand trapping you, for trying to interact with you. How dare you stop my combo? I'm gonna Thrust for a D-Barrier real quick to make sure
I'm gonna Thrust.
It's rough. It's honestly rough. I felt pretty discouraged this morning when I woke up after this weekend because I'm thinking like we have YCS Bologna in 6 weeks. No major changes to the format. People are already throwing words like emergency ban list through the room, which I mean, I feel like it would be
When's
very
Bolognese?
welcome, but I
Is
don't
it
know
this
how
month? YCS Bologna. November 21st. We're not getting a ban list until January earliest, I'd say, based off of the numbers, Mason. So, what product do we have before this? Is there anything relevant? It's today. The ban list is today? Wow. There's no way. Yeah, I'm like saying January, February. The branded deck. That's not even a deck, right? It's like it's got like 1 new card, I think, and it's a structure. Man! Man will save us, true. Guys, there's a good way to not deal with floodgates. It's to play man.
Likely it is. And I just wanted to voice my concerns because I think this is pretty discouraging.
January's like 3 months.
This is not related
enjoy
to
your
many
3
of the
month
archetypes.
Mjolnir format.
It's mostly related to the but people have been asking for Dimensional Barrier to be banned since 2017. That's 8 years and nothing's happened. We continuously voice concerns about these cards, and I don't want to say nothing happens because some of these cards were hit, but it feels like they're just not being
nothing ever happens
on these cards because there's always something to replace these cards. Some of these cards only go to 1. Some of these cards are banned way too late. And it's weird. It's weird to me that basically we're just playing turns.
I'm very happy that Josh is highlighting this.
What felt like at this YCS like 50% of the time. I'm repeating myself at this point. But I'm very passionate about this topic because I want to play the TCG so much. But
I was kind of just going to repeat myself there, but like, yeah. I believe that this is not unique. I don't think this is anything different. I think it's been happening for so long now. Clearly, Josh seems to think it's happening so much more often than it used to. I think it's been happening as much as it has been for a while now, which is why I've kind of tuned out of Modern for a decent period of time. But I'm glad that their, you know, face of Konami content creation and official partner is like making a video on this. Like, hopefully this will bring enough eyes and attention onto it, because like me making a video like this is irrelevant, you know, like we've already done and talked about and complained about this multiple times. So hopefully, you know, someone basically relevant doing this is actually going to give some real friction to establishing a direction and establishing some kind of a game plan to like maybe deal with this shit that keeps happening. I thought this was the best format. Yeah, well, you know, that was 3 weeks ago before someone found Mjolnir, you know?
Right now...
You're saying you're irrelevant? I mean, in the grand scheme of things...
This is going to change.
In terms of enacting any real change at Konami, yeah, I'm pretty irrelevant, like...
Because I'm realizing this has been a thing for a long time.
You think they give a fuck about what, like, I
think? You know, like, we can discuss whether Mitsurugi should have had better locks, which, yes, it should have. Like, Mitsurugi plus Yami, in terms of gameplay, should not go together. These two decks are fine individually, but when you mash them together, they're too powerful. So that's something they need to take better care of in the future. But this is something you can handle with archetype design. Just like, okay, this was messed up. Mitsurugi should have had a reptile lock or something, but just design better archetypes in the future. All right, you know, these are, like I said earlier, archetypes come and go. But the philosophy behind not handling floodgates and searchable locks and crazy combos properly, pretty frustrating. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that just felt like a whole lot of Genesis advertisement over the course of the weekend, because Genesis is looking mighty fine in comparison to this, and I don't know if it's just me.
What a hypocrite. He glazed TCG, now he's whining about TCG. I know this might be a shock, like, revelation to you, sir, but do you understand that, like, things can change? Opinions can shift? The game progresses? Ain't no way!
Growing out of modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Over time, but it was pretty discouraging, because I was very hyped to get back into it, and...
Do not overload their brain cells.
Right now I'm questioning whether Genesis might be a better place for me. But anyways, let me know what you think. Sorry for the...
Did you do anything relevant in Genesis? Again, did you win, like, Invitational or anything?
And I would love to...
Didn't you have, like, a crazy deck?
And once again, I want to congratulate Kamal on the 6th YCS win. Insane performance. And I'm
it should have been Triff.
This format dynamic is overshadowing this win. At least for me personally, it's overshadowing it a little.
Alright, this is going to be the worst part of the video. Let's read some of the comments. We got 3 combo tutorials for a final. 6th game. That's goated. 2 floodgates allow Triff to beat his opponent's floodgate. Great game design. At least we can all enjoy Genesis while it's still in its honeymoon phase before Konami ruins it as well. I don't think Genesis is going to be ruined. I'm pretty sure Genesis is going to do fine. And I think it's going to be curated much better than the TCG is, but we'll see. Most of this needs to happen. All people in future matches in top 8 should start insta-scooping on turn 2 when hand traps... Okay, well, I mean, not up to the players. This is a terrible take, by the way. Players need to, like, insta-scoop and get that... Shut up, okay? If I'm in, like, top cut of a feature match of a YC, I'm playing it out until I try and win. Like, what are you saying? Make the game look so bad that Konami needs to do something about it. The game already looks terrible. I don't know, like, this is nothing... putting the onus of responsibility on players is definitely not the play here. Making it so painful, obviously, the game is unplayable even at the highest level. Good take, though. This part's good. Not gonna lie, I'm just enjoying Genesis. Feels refreshing to play and interact with your opponent. Have a duel where decisions matter. Of course, it's not perfect, but that is what I think a duel should feel like. Too many bullshit going on in advance, losing to random floodgate you didn't draw the out to. The fact that in Modern, if you open no hand traps, your opponent can set up such a crazy board that you literally can't play through really shows the cracks in Yu-Gi-Oh's card design. I say this as a person who plays combo decks. The funny thing is, like, not even like, oh, I'm just, like, playing, like, a new player deck that has, like, a bunch of random engine pieces and no hand traps because I don't disrupt and understand that concept. It's like, even if you play board breakers, that's what you don't understand, right? This is the insane thing. Even when you play board breakers are not enough to beat, like, the best decks. You need, like, multiple board breakers. Evenly matching someone 8 years ago wasn't enough to beat their deck fully for 6-7 cards. It's not gonna work today. The decks are too powerful and too good that they beat multiple board breakers. All right, Dark Rulering a deck just now doesn't do anything. Josh will quit the TCG to play Duel Links. The Yummy Mitsurugi thing, one problem with that. Duncan jump scare. What genius decided to not just make 1-card combos possible, but to make them possible without using your normal summon? These non-games are why we are never in a real board breaker format. Kind of annoying. There should not be a single... By the way, board breaker formats, almost always healthier. But here we are. There should not be a single lingering floodgate that is legal in this game. Ban them all. The problem is Yu-Gi-Oh! Itself and Konami's fear of hitting cards. I want to find, like, the hater comments. That's my favorite thing. I don't get the D-barrier hate. So is it fun to just watch the opponent go off? Yes! We found one! Well, buddy, is it fun to flip one card and your opponent... It's... The people that, like, who defend floodgates don't understand that all you're doing is... Floodgates are combo decks with much fewer steps. There is functionally no difference between full... K9 Crystron Mjolnir lock combo and flipping D-barrier. They are functionally the same thing. This is what these people don't understand. They think that the best way to beat crazy wacky combo decks is to use a floodgate. But they're not understanding that, yes, technically that is good, it beats it. You need to ask yourself at what cost. The cost of it is fun, interesting gameplay. It doesn't exist. Very easy. Limit the gameplay like Magic does with mana. Oh, go fucking play a different game. Oh my god. Dude, this is the cheat code on YouTube. Just click new and then you find all this crap. Holy crap. We're back in a break my board format. Yeesh. Come back to Master Duel. That'll fix it. Yes. The problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that we need to play more Malice Mirrors. Great take, TAS0303. Hot take, I think the prolific presence of hand traps cause a lot of similar problems to floodgates. If we somehow end up banning all floodgates and getting rid of the issue they cause, we will come to realize that hand traps are next on the chopping block. Holy crap, we're yapping. They do keep combo decks from picking up an unstoppable amount of steam, and for one-for-one interruptions are a lot healthier than floodgates, but some of them have lingering effects and are so impactful that... Okay, but now you're just describing floodgates, not hand traps, really, right? Some decks are built so tightly that getting hit by a single hand trap in the wrong place can mean basically an insta-scoop, because it causes the player to instantly lose their steam, and depending on the hand trap... There's way too much to unpack here. I'm just going to say good take and move on. I have over 15 tournament decks, fully built, staples and all. I won't even go play locals because they all lose to draw. Okay, at that point, bro, you need to find one of your 15 decks and pick a different archetype. You don't build 15 decks, all of them lose to draw, alright? At that point, that's on you. Like, diversify your lineup, man. Like, build a deck that beats draw. Build a deck that loses to draw. Like, how do you make it 15 and not find an answer to draw? Is called by in any of these decks? I went to locals in my new area. They were playing One Piece, and I watched them pass 10 turns and nothing happened. It was so surreal to me as a Yu-Gi-Oh player. Most exciting One Piece gameplay, by the way. It's just like the anime. He's pretty much watching Dressrosa unfold in person. The problem is amplified by the fact that it's now 14-15 rounds. Imagine playing all day to lose a dice roll against Kamal deck and you lose to a D-Barry the next round. These type of games are over the course of 15 rounds is insane to have. I don't know if that's necessarily that different, though. I mean, yeah, you have to play for longer, but, like, the top placing doesn't really change, right? Like, you're just playing for prizes, which... I mean, that's, like, functionally not really the point, right? Like, playing more Yu-Gi-Oh! Is good if the Yu-Gi-Oh! Is good, but the problem is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't good. With how embarrassing these games were, I do think that an emergency list is the only option. It's a win-win. People get excited the list comes and fixes things. They get free publicity for having an emergency. Never happening. So whoever goes first wins. Almost like one-card combos should never been this good. I'll meet you halfway and say the generic extra deck cards shouldn't be so good, easy to summon, or decks need more restrictions on them. Shrug. I generally hate how I'm sometimes forced to play a floodgate to counter a floodgate. Why has the skill been drained? Wait, I see what he did there. That's very clever. The only thing I'm learning here is that Holisu needs to be banned. That's your takeaway? How do you watch all of this and think the problem is Holisu? Is he being sarcastic? Can't have the person going second be allowed to play... Okay, yeah, he's being sarcastic. Cards that say neither player can X, especially special summon, should just be removed or banned. The only way I can see these cards be fair is if they have restrictions like, has to be the first card you activate so you yourself can't do X like specials. Okay, we're custom carding. Yu-Gi-Oh! Needs rotation. Okay, Joseph. This is why I switched to Genesis, based. In other games, the sideboard is for situational cards that give you an edge. In Yu-Gi-Oh! The side deck is for 15 cards that make most decks unable to play the card game. I've been saying this for years. Dude, the side deck if you look at every side deck for the last 10 years, probably half of them is, half of the side deck cards are just floodgates. Miserable. There's been some formats where you literally look at like 15 side deck cards and it's just straight up just 15 out of 15, like game-winning floodgates and blowouts. And that's not to say it's that much more fun or interesting to play against a Lightning Storm as a Labyrinth player, etc., right? But ultimately, you know, that's kind of the problem, is everything is so powerful on a high-octane powerful level that in order to combat those, you need like even more powerful cards that beat really powerful cards, and then you just end up with like turn zero gameplay that isn't actually healthy. And I'm not talking about Holy Sue. I'm just talking about like Shifter and Droll and God. Like, I mean, these cards just haven't aged well. Like, Droll came out at a point in time where no one was searching. Like, when did Droll even become relevant? Like 2017? Can you believe that Necros was a deck? Necros, the ritual summoning deck that would spam the board, spam search constantly, and no one really played Droll in that format. You go back and look at Necros deck list, people didn't really play Droll for it. Because activate Valkyris, you know, damn, we're just passing turn. I agree with everything you said. I have a hard time enjoying the game right now because of multiple factors. I started to 900th rants about Yu-Gi-Oh! This is a tradition. Well, you know, the game sucks. What can you say? The TCG wasn't a great place. Then we started looking for floodgates. The cycle will never end. Ooh, that's what I'm saying. It sucks because I had 3 friends return to Yu-Gi-Oh! I showed them the back and forth that Justice Hunters provided. Just as they finished their decks, this is what they have to deal with. So what you're saying is you made them blow all their money on nothing, huh? Floodgates are there to check combo decks. Combo decks are generic to push the product. I mean, he's not wrong, I guess. Yeah, okay. I mean, technically, yeah. That's why they make them. That's Timmy. That's the Timmy we talked about earlier. There he is. All right, anyway. Josh is quitting the game. We're going to play Riftbound together. And I'm really excited for this new arc. So see you guys in the next Schmidt action. Bye-bye.